students, this is our continuation subject, History, Standard 8, Chapter number 4, The Freedom Struggle of 1857, Part 5. In last fourth part, in fourth video, we have seen the two reasons that led to the failure of Great Revolt. Now, in this part 5th, we are going to see next. We are going to study next reasons. So let's continue with lack of military tactics. Indian soldiers were brave but did not use tactics. They captured Delhi but could not retain it. They could not store it properly. Similarly, the Indian rebels had limited armed supply. The British had economic strength, disciplined army, enough stock of latest arms, and experienced army generals. Since transport and communication was in the hands of British, their movements were swift. Due to this, the Indian sepoys could not succeed. Wars are fought not only based on bravery, but also through military strategies. See, weapons used by the civilian rebels were ancient ones. It was very old. Basically, bow, arrows, spears, etc. Sepoys fall short of weapons and could manage only a few. Modern weaponry by looting barracks. Okay, so sepoys were very brave and selfish but lacked discipline. Many times they behave like riotous mob. They had no authoritative head, plan of action or effective leadership. Once capturing an area, they were blank on what to do next. So, and British sepoys, they were very disciplined. Their weapons also very latest, and economic strength also with them, and well mannered, well educated. So they knew how to handle the situation. So that is why British movements were swift, and due to this, the Indian sepoys could not succeed. In Indian sepoys, they have a lack of tactics, and they could not use proper strategy. So that is why they got failed. Now let's see next reason. International situation favorable for Britishers. The Crimean War with Russia was just over. The British won the war. They had trade relations with the different countries in the world. The naval strength of the British was vast, whereas the Indian rebels were isolated. See, as we have seen, in the British sepoys, their economic strength was also good, and new tactics, new strategies they used to use, and even they had created very good and friendly relations with the different countries in the world. So that is why the naval strength of the British also was very vast, and they could develop. And whereas Indian rebels were isolated, they could not create their friendship with other things, other countries. This was also big reason of the failure of freedom struggle 1857. Now let's continue with consequences of The freedom struggle, end of rule of East India Company. Due to the company rule, there was growing dissatisfaction among the Indians, and the British rule had to face the struggle of 1857. It forced the British Parliament to end the rule of the company and instead take over the responsibility of ruling over the people of India through the Government of India Act 1858. The Governor General was now designated as the Viceroy of India. Lord Canning happened to be the last Governor General and the first Viceroy of India. A new post called Secretary of State was created in the British government to look after the affairs of India. Now see, the company lost of all its administrative powers following the Government of India Act of 1858, and its Indian possessions and armed forces were taken over by the Crown. Rule of the country shifted from the directors of the company to a Secretary of State for India, advised by a council whose members were appointed by the Crown. The Crown also directly appointed the Governor General or Viceroy and provincial governors in India. The East India Company itself was formally dissolved by Act of Parliament in 1874. Thus began the British Raj, direct imperial rule of India by the British state. Now next point is Queen's Proclamation. Now proclamation means what? Announcement. Now what was the announcement of Queen's? Queen Victoria of England issued a declaration addressing the people of India. All Indians are our progeny. Progeny means someone's children. Okay. Henceforth, they will not be discriminated on the basis of race, religion, caste, or birthplace. Government services will be given on merit. There will be no interference in religious affairs. It was made clear that the British Crown will honor all treaties and agreements made by the company with the rulers of princely states, and no princely state will be annexed henceforth. Okay, so it was the announcement of Queen. All Indians are our progeny, and henceforth they will not be discriminated on the basis of race, religion, caste, their birthplace. So government services will be given on their merit list. So it was her decision. There will be no any interference in their religious affairs. It was made clear that the British Crown will honor all treaties and their agreements made by the company with the rulers of a princely states, and no princely state will be annexed henceforth. Next point is change in composition of army. The proportion of British soldiers was increased in the army. English officers were placed at strategic locations. Artillery was kept exclusively in the hands of the British. There was division of military on basis of caste. Proper care was taken to avoid Indians to unite and rebel against the British. Next point is change in policy. The British accepted the policy of non-interference in social and religious aspects of Indians. They also started taking care that the Indian society will not be united on social grounds. They saw to it that there will be constant conflicts on grounds of caste, religion, race, territory, etc. They adopted the policy of polluting the minds of Indians by following the divide and rule policy. Due to the freedom struggle of 1857, the Indians felt of giving a united fight against the British rule. The freedom struggle of 1857 became an inspiration of Indian freedom movement. I hope you have understood this lesson, students. If you have any query, then please see this video again and again. This lesson is over. Thank you.